When I woke up this morning, I couldn't believe my eyes. Are we finally seeing a fearful Bitcoin? After sitting with this thing for weeks, sitting in greed, and we're like, what's going on? You know, alts are down 50%. How is the market not fearful? And finally, we had a little bit of a Bitcoin catch-up yesterday, and we are now getting to the fear stages. And I want to show you guys this, which is also very important, is we haven't been here since Bitcoin was $20,000. Now we're sitting at around $60,000 at the same sort of fear levels. And if you go back on the fear levels, finally we are getting Bitcoin to the phase where the fear is in. Now we can really understand why the Bitcoin, why the stochastic RSI is sitting at the bottom, why we're seeing weekly divergence on Bitcoin at the moment. Plus, finally, if we look at this over here, look at this greenness over here. You know, and this isn't greenness just to the USDT. This is greenness to Bitcoin. This is altcoins showing strength to Bitcoin. And I want to show you guys a few things here quickly. I'll scroll down to the bottom of my charts here, and I'll show you how Chainlink has broken out to Bitcoin. I'll show you how Phantom is at the verge of, there's the breakouts, but do the retest. I'll show you how Theta is at the verge of a breakout. I'll show you AVAX, how Ethereum's at the verge of a breakout, how Render is at the verge of a breakout to Bitcoin. We are finally getting some altcoin strength. So yesterday what we saw was a bit of a Bitcoin catch-up. Today we're going to speak about, is the Bitcoin low in? Or are we still going to maybe 52, maybe 54, maybe 56? Where are we going? And let's speak about the altcoin strength. Let me show you guys how these altcoins are breaking to Bitcoin and Ethereum pairings. How they are all super oversold to the weekly chart. How the dominance is starting to become in favor of the altcoins when we are seeing redness in the market. Finally, Bitcoin is catching up to the whole feeling of the market, and now we can get going again. It's not about, what does 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏 say? It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you get hit and you can keep going. And altcoins, trust me, when they get going, they recover any redness in a very short period of time. So I'm here to still keep you bullish. I'm here to say we are not done. We are not over. We have finally had Bitcoin catch up, and now we got to pay attention to altcoin levels, altcoins to break. Where are we going next? And how big is the next altcoin rally going to be? So if you guys are excited, if you're pumped up, hit the like button. I know it was my fault yesterday that the altcoins pumped. I know. And you know, I'll do it again for you guys today, just because like, I'm here to help, right? So let's get the altcoins pumping again. In the meanwhile, smash the like button and let's start the damn show. Come on, altcoins pump. Guys, you brand new channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, bring energy, bring vibes. I want to see the chats flowing. How are we doing? Pump him. Good energy. Keep us in check. We got it, guys. We got it. I don't allow this to drain my energy. It's not important. Why? Because markets are up today, and I'll show you this over here. I need to load it up. But I'll show you this over here. I'm 35% back from my losses from the last 2 weeks on leverage. There we go. You can't see it because it's green. Anyway, it's green. Then you know I'm not talking crap. It's green. You see there? It's meant to be. Oh, that side is meant to be showing you the money. But you see how it's gone. That means it's green, right? I'm about 30%, 35% back from my losses in the last 3 weeks. So I'm not fully there just yet. However, I got incredible entries, and I'm here to build with you guys and show you that there's phases where you got to make up some cash. You know, you got to get yourself back up, taking a couple losses. The market's been tough. It's been hammering, been smacking. You know, it's been continuing this for a while. Now it's about getting back to where we were, and then interest. It's always about interest. You know, whenever I bring my lady a box of chocolates, you know, I always eat the first 2 chocolates and then I give it to her. It's called tax, right? This is how it works. It's called interest. It's I'm here to do it, but I'm here to get interest. I'm here to make all my hard work worth it, guys. And that's the powerful thing about everything. So let's jump into a few things first. So we have finally saw a little bit of a Bitcoin catch up. Okay, now we're going to speak about the lows and speak about, you know, what does this mean? Where are we at? But we basically dropped into our very big demand zone again. Okay, so here's the big zone. You know, area we've been bouncing for a long time. You know, for the last, 3 months or so, we've been holding the support. We dipped off again yesterday. Bitcoin finally started to speed up. And we dropped to around the lows of around 58,400. Now, we're going to speak about the next big green box sitting over here. But let's speak about the temporary bounce that we're at. And the first few things I want to show you guys is what you want to do is you want to pop onto your RSI and you want to say here and you want to say, okay, The first thing, if I look at the 8-hour RSI sitting at the bottom, okay, oversold. Let's go 12-hour, sitting at the bottom, oversold. Let's go daily, sitting at the bottom, oversold. Let's go weekly, sitting at the bottom, oversold. Okay, fantastic. What does that mean? It means we are in the area of reversal. Okay, so it means you might see a little bit of speed up within Bitcoin. You might see a little bit of chop here. However, we are getting near the phase where the market is going to temporary bottom and then the bulls are going to come and attempt. So what was the problem over the last few weeks? The problem was the greed was still sitting very high with Bitcoin. Alts were getting obliterated and Bitcoin was just holding like it was nothing. Okay, and what we basically needed was we actually needed some buying power within the market. We needed Bitcoin to actually get sunk in a little bit. And the problem was we started to see a lot of people still very long on Bitcoin. Okay, so even though the alts people were getting drained, a lot of people were super long on Bitcoin. Okay, and what we needed was to flush out the longs. Okay, it sort of makes sense. Before you send the rocket ship off, you flush out the longs, then you send the rocket ship. Why? Because everyone that gets flushed out will buy late. Anyone that got smacked will buy late, and therefore it's a rinse and repeat of the whole system. So waking up this morning, jumping over here, not only firstly seeing the fear and greed index, guys, when I tell you we're back at the level of when Bitcoin was 20K, that's insane. You know, if we're sitting at that same fearful level as those areas, it's insane. Now, there is room for slightly a little bit lower, and we'll speak about that in a sec. However, we are entering that bottom phase. Okay, the next thing, what I loved about it very much was looking how we rinsed out the leverage. Yeah. If you look at this over here, guys, I'll show you the 24-hour. This is the liquidation heat map. Where's the liquidation sitting? They're sitting at the top now. Okay, so now we're sitting at around 62K is the main area of liquidations in the short period, basically indicating today. Where's this leverage patches sitting? Okay, then we go over here a little bit higher. Let's go over here to the 3-day, a little bit of a midterm look. I don't see yellow at the bottom anymore. I see a lot of yellow at the top. Okay, there's yellow over here at the 63, and then there's a lot at 65. So what's happening now? Shorters are getting arrogant. Short, right? Now you're starting to build up all the shorters in these crazy areas over here. Then what I do is I jump into the weekly chart. I go here to the weekly. Look at a little bit of the higher time frame view. I see yellow at the top. So what are we seeing now? We're seeing the teams change. We used to see a lot of yellow at the bottom, but it meant that the dips that have been happening have had purpose. They've gone to go fetch liquidity, close out the longs, and now we're looking at the point where right now, where does price go? It goes against where everyone's against you, right? It goes to where all the money's sitting. Right now, all the money's sitting within the shorts. So this is a very good sign on short squeezes, on acceleration to the upside, that when the pump comes hard. Okay, it's there for a goal, it's there for a mission, and it's there to push through very quickly to the main zones. And you can see that we're getting a lot of heat sitting around the 62 short time frame, 65 sort of areas. Now, that's quite interesting because if I go here to the chart, 65 will then finally break us out. Okay, so let's go in over here. So if you look at currently where we are with the Bitcoin chart, firstly, we came back into support. Now, before you can think about the next area, you got to first pass this area. So until we've lost this area, you can think about this area. Right now, we dipped off. We lost that 62, 63K yesterday, came down really hard to this area, hit the support zone over here. And now what it's basically indicating is, hey, there's a short-term bounce coming within the market. Why? Because 4 of my RSIs, 1, 2, is it 4 or 5? 4 of the RSIs are all indicating, hey, markets are oversold to the downside on the short time frame. So start preparing for a little bit of a push-up. So now what it basically means is we're going to get to a point now where from here, we're looking at a few options. We're looking at a push up to these areas. Now, what's interesting is all the liquidations are sitting over here. Okay. Now, if we decide at any moment on any different play, I'll show you guys the different plays of what we're thinking of. If we push anywhere over there, guys, not only is that going to give us a fat weekly reversal candle, not only is that's going to be breaking trend, that's going to be getting to the high areas. And you'll see if we get there, you'll all of a sudden see all the yellow over there. And it's just going to chase where the money's at and where there's more people in the opposite team. Right now, bearish, right? Shorters are probably trying their best. Ideally, what they are doing, though, is they're kind of shorting the bottom, right? They are getting to that bottom phase, but that's the same thing. Everyone longs when the markets are high. Everyone shorts when the markets are low. But what I'm trying to say is, do you see how it lines up perfectly that that's where that beautiful spot is? And that's exactly what we need this week. We need to get to a point where, hey, Bitcoin's back at 64, 65. And that'll give us a higher time frame reversal. Now, I want to show you a few things here on the high time frame quickly when it comes to the Bitcoin chart. One thing that's quite interesting is, firstly, we are still holding the trend. Good sign, okay? So I gave this a couple of weeks back. I said there's two scenarios of what's going to happen to Bitcoin over the next few weeks. I said we're either going to go full bull or we're going to come back to the trend. And as you could see, we have now hit the trend beautifully, right? Now, not only have we hit the trend, we've put in a little higher low here. And I kind of feel if we hold this higher low, it's actually even more bullish, right? If we do hold that higher low. But ideally, what I want to see this week is I want this candle to go green. Okay, and this is going towards your Bitcoin chart, your ETH chart, your Solana chart, all of them. What you want to see this weekend is this week is you want to see a reversal candle. You want to see that price accelerated to the downside, but got bought up and it got reversed in that time because you have the RSIs and everything tapering to the bottom side saying, hey, it's now time for the bulls to come and have a turn. Okay, the bears have had their chance over the last couple of weeks. It's now time. So the big thing was that play over there of us holding trend. The next thing I want to show you guys as well is we're actually forming a little bit of, it's actually quite strong bullish divergence on the weekly on Bitcoin. So I'll click us in over here. Do you see how we have these slightly higher lows right now? This is why it's important that if we hold yesterday's low and we get going from here, like it's bull, it's really bull. But if I show you here, massive lower low within the RSI and higher lows as it stands at the moment. So if we can hold that and keep momentum and somehow we do get this candle green, guys, you've got massive weekly divergence on Bitcoin. Okay, and that plays a big, what does that mean? Big bounce. Big, strong bounce, something that erases hard work for a long period. Very similar to here. We had them try to pull down price, the bears, for at least 8 weeks, and it got absorbed in one fat candle. Okay, that's what it means. It gets to that point of, wow, there's a lot of good signs in the area. So Bitcoin is still very bullish, and it's not opening those doors to that 50K yet. I know a lot of people now that are probably thinking that 50, 52K zone, okay, sort of zones at the moment. Until this trend's broken, and at that point, I think you're going to get trapped. I think you're going to be falling on the wrong side of the fence, and I think you'll be waiting for something that may not come. And it might come later, but it may not come now. And that's what's going to catch a lot of the market when it comes to the off-gardeners. And the same thing with a couple things here. I want to show you guys over here. Just jump in here. There's the USDT dominance. Has still not broken that major trend I've been speaking about. And it's looking at a point of a possible double top. So if this goes red this week, very bullish. Same when it comes to altcoins. Now, altcoins did lose that major trend. Okay, we did. Definitely. But what we are seeing now is we're seeing some sort of reversal candle. However, it is time for alts to do some big damage. We need to really get going when it comes to the alts now. So what I need to see, if this is the temporary bottom, if we're going up here from now, which I'm thinking we are very close to, okay, we need to see a fat green candle here and get back into this trend or back to the top of this trend by the end of this week. Okay, so we got some work to do when it comes to the bulls. When it comes to the dominance, so jump to the dominance over here for a sec. Nice little candle forming. And what we are all getting ready for is this big block. And I'm going to leave this block here. Okay, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the fat red dominance candle to the downside. That will probably come once we've lost this trend. However, it feels like the market is ready for it. It feels like the market is now at that point. We had a little bit of a flush of the memes. We had a little bit of a cool down within the markets. It's time now to really get the quality alts going. Okay, so now that we know that, did I miss anything on the top? Oh, I do want to show you this as well. This is now, if you look at this Bitcoin versus alt season, this thing is sitting at the bottom of the Bitcoin season. You can see we're starting to turn up. And what it's basically indicating is every time we've been to these seasons, it's been times to buy altcoins. Okay, because what it means now is once we get out of Bitcoin season, we're going to alt season. So you can see how this thing is sitting at the undersold. And what I always tell you about an RSI or anything like that, when it's below 20, it's buy. It's buy, take on a bit of risk. When it's above 70 to 80, get out. Okay, so here's another indicator showing that, yes, we're in Bitcoin season. Okay, but the problem is we're at the bottom of Bitcoin season. This will reverse and start to push up again. Again, altcoin strength coming in. To that, the like button is. I can't believe that's pushed pushed so much. Okay, so let's get a little bit of a game plan of what's happening at the moment. So I think short term, okay, I do that. I'm going to play the two scenarios, but I do think there's a little bit of up. Okay, I think Bitcoin is going to try go chase that 62. 62 is 63 on the short. Again, any break of 62, there's a squeeze to the 65 zone. And that, again, any close there this week is really good. Okay, so that's the more likely for now. Okay, then there is a scenario Bitcoin comes and chases the bottoms again. okay, it's got two options there. It's either going to come and go a higher low, or it will chase down a 56, 57, and then a little bit of a reaction. Okay, in that time, I think dominance comes down. I think we saw yesterday that dominance, when Bitcoin gets, this is clearly a Bitcoin pullback, what we saw yesterday. Okay, but it wasn't an alt pull. The alt pullback was happening the last 3 years. Okay, but this was very much focused on a Bitcoin sort of stage of a pullback. Okay, so if that happens, I think dominance goes down. I think alts will go pretty near the lows. I don't think they'll make much lower lows, but we'll speak about it in a sec. But right now, those are the two sort of plays that I'm looking at for the temporary thing. Right now, because the RSIs are down, I'm very likely on this happening first. We will then see what the alts do in that time. And I want to quickly show you guys again. What happened yesterday was you actually had altcoins break trend and Bitcoin didn't just yet. So there's the altcoin breakout. So not only did we bounce pretty hard, we made a very strong V shape, okay, which is called a V-shape recovery. Okay, it's a very strong pattern when you see that basically, hey, we did go bearish, but wow, we found strength in a very short period of time. And what it ended up doing was breaking the short midterm trend. So what that means for me is I definitely have to be bullish for the next couple of days. At the end of the week, we'll see where we finish up. Where's the candle closes? Are we bullish for the next 3 months? Right now, we're definitely bullish for the short term to make some money back and to get some good entries within alts to make cash. So this has broken out. So what that means is very small pullback today, and we should get another fat alt leg to the upside. Okay, dominance is giving me the same indication. If I go here to the dominance, this lost major supports yesterday, and now it's a little push up in dominance and then another drop. Then that's the major trend line. That's the one where I said that fat red one comes later on the weekly. Okay, but that's where we are seeing now on the short time frame over here. If we look at things same as USDT dominance, this is putting in a little bit of a double top here. So we pumped yesterday. Okay, this is the people getting out, the panic setting in. But where we're basically sitting over here is we are still sitting in that, which if you looked at this as any altcoin chart, you had to kind of still be bearish, right? Because as long as we still below this resistance over here, you kind of a bear, because what that means is we can easily go back down to the range lows. And that's what you're going to look at here. So if any of that rejection, if we stay anywhere below that and start the correction, we actually bull. And I think it's going to be a strong push to the downside. And what that means is whatever the price was of a lot of alts 4 weeks ago is probably where we're going to be back at. So that just shows you that 4 weeks we did see a lot of red. But what it's indicating here is if we start the pullback from here, we'll be back to those levels within a week or so, in a couple of days. We'll be back at those levels of where alts were 4 weeks ago. You can go have a look at where that was and all the prices. And I think Sol was at 170 then. And it gives you an idea of where we're at. Then we obviously got the bear scenario. That we'll see a little later in the week. And that's when we break through and we start to push. Right now, it's still resistance. RSIs are still sitting at the top. So what you're basically seeing, as we look over here, you're looking at things like ETH. ETH and Bitcoin are sitting flat right now. They are. Okay, so ETH did hit a big buy zone. I said 3.2, guys. We hit 3.250. Okay, 3.2 is a good area. There is, again, I see upside possibly first. I see ETH pushing up now within the next couple of hours or day or two. And if we don't get through that, hey, we're still going to maybe prepare for that little shake off over there. Okay, but where it has hit is a strong zone. And if we can get ETH back anywhere above to 3.4, 3.5 this week, it's looking really good. Now, not only is ETH looking good there, you're obviously just waiting for the ETH to Bitcoin. I actually drew up a new trend this morning. This is why ETH is holding up a little bit. Is if you look here to the ETH Bitcoin chart on the daily, we've got a nice fat trend here with many touches. Okay. Many touches. And what that basically includes is if we can get awakening of ETH over the next 24 to 48 hours, we'll actually get ETH breaking out to the daily, and finally ETH will join. And that's when you'll see a fast catch up within ETH. ETH will be a very big player for us to keep that dominance to the downside. Okay. Now, just before I get into the alts for the day, guys, I just want to remind you, and I want to show you a couple of these things over here. Okay. So let's firstly jump and just go look again. Look at injective to Bitcoin on the weekly chart. Look at the RSI flatline and now leaving. We call it the train leaving the station. Okay, it's getting out of the oversold. And what that's indicating is for the last couple of weeks, Bitcoin has outperformed injective. But now what it's indicating is from here, we should have a rally up to the upside. And what that means is a couple of weeks of injective to outperform Bitcoin. Now, not only is it with an injective, you're getting the same thing. Look at Chainlink. It's actually done pretty strong. Actually done pretty good. Nice little double bottom over there. But you go through tons of these charts over here, and you'll see that a lot of them are oversold to the Bitcoin. Therefore, what are you seeing on the actual chart? You're seeing some fat green candles here. Look at that Sol weekly candle that we're currently forming over there. Okay, therefore, you go look at top gainers for the day, and Sol's probably one of them. Okay, and any coins that are now starting to bounce to the Bitcoin pairing are going to be the strong performers on your daily. They're going to be the ones that are really pushing through. But I want to remind you again, we're at that point where if you look at things like Fetch, look how that thing's just leaving the bottom now. Look what it's doing to the chart. Okay, look at things like Cardano. That actually looks pretty good. I might actually look at a Cardano long. Actually looks pretty good. That's a lot of blood there. But everything is indicating that's going to outperform Bitcoin for a couple of weeks when it comes to the altcoins. And you could see on the short time frame, not only the short time frame, you've seen the strength, but you're seeing it within a lot of these charts. Look at NEAR. Why do you think NEAR is doing so good the last 24 hours? Okay, this is because, guys, on the high time frame, the biggest indicator we get, or the biggest time frame we get, all these coins are oversold to the Bitcoin pairing. You have to be bullish on altcoins right now on the high time frame. You can't not. Okay, doesn't mean this phase isn't hard. Well, you got to survive. I always say, don't go to zero. As long as you don't go to zero, you'll thrive and get back whatever you lost plus more within the next push. Okay, I wish I had more dry powder. Sometimes you don't. Okay, I don't have more dry powder to go put in another 100K what I lost on leverage over the last. However, I started again with a couple thousand yesterday, and I'm back. I'm getting there, and that's the thing. How quickly you get back with what you got. Okay, how long will the alt rally last? For now, I think there's two waves. Good question. The first wave, I think we have an alt rally until around September. Then what I think is going to happen is we're going to go into a Bitcoin rally where I think Bitcoin's going to chase the highs. So I still think Bitcoin's going to go for that very fast parabolic move within the later part of the years. I think in the next 2-3 months, I don't think Bitcoin might not even break highs in the next 2 months, guys, all-time highs. I think the alts can just catch up. They can just have a really strong couple of alts. And then what happens is we get to a point where everything's extended to Bitcoin, and then we have a rally. And then after that, the final alt rally. And then that's probably the bull market. That's my play. I think there's 3 steps left. I think it's an altcoin push now, a catch up, Bitcoin run, last blow of top from altcoins, and that's it. That's my current view on a lot of them. Again, not only to the Bitcoin pairing, I also want you to understand that we have a super bullish ETH. Very bullish ETH, okay? And we've seen the liquidation maps also piling up on ETH. And if you go to look at any coins again to the ETH pairing, guys, this is flatline at the bottom too. Also going to join ETH on this rally. Look at this to the RUNE. Look at everything sitting at the bottom phases here to the ETH pairings. So it gives you a really good understanding. And that's why like things like Theta, it's crazy if you're not buying spot Theta right now. Because Theta's at first at a brilliant level on the high time frames. I'll show you the Theta chart. Okay, let's find our Theta chart here. But Theta's so over tapped, and it had such a really good part of the year. Look how strong that was. Okay, firstly, this thing's sitting back at support, great level. Secondly, RSI flatline. Thirdly, massive bullish divergence of the weekly. You see the higher lows here, see the lower lows, massive. Fourthly, Theta to ETH. Flatline at the bottom, back at support, sitting at the bottom. Theta to Bitcoin, sitting flat at the bottom. It's insane not to be buying Theta to these levels because there's going to be a massive performance. Now, let's give you an idea of what this means. That means if we get to a push into those areas there, you're looking at basically around a 60 to 70% outperformance of Ethereum. Now, what happens if Ethereum goes to 6K in that time? Okay, and you got something that's gonna nearly double the performance of ETH. It gives you an idea that we are very bullish on ETH, guys. I think ETH's going to be a rocket. I think it's going to be something absolutely massive. And when you find things are going to outperform ETH, massive. Yo, are we moving? Guys, I can't do this. I can't go here. How? Like, we've been here before, okay? How can we now sit and be bearish? Let me just show you something. Look at this timeline. Red, the whole world. That's the end. It's the last time. It's time to exit crypto. Huh? Look at this. You know what I mean? Don't be fooled. This is like it's seriously, I'm concerned about the bull market. Like, I love Rand's the man. I know. I love him to bits. But end of the day, like, this is too much now. Everyone red, everyone this, like, we got to go bull. Like, that's no doubt about it that 20% make 80% of the money, right? So you got to be on the team that's 20%. Right now, 20% are bullish. Like, it's true when it comes to things. So the sentiment of things are slap the like button, or we're going to 12. Whew, I better go hit the like button. Hold on. I'm going to hit the like button here quickly. Otherwise, I don't want to. Okay. There's me. Okay. I smashed the like button. There we go. See, is it that hard, guys? It's not that hard. So again, what you're seeing now is the strength. Now what I do is let's go catch the ones that are going to move first. So I go through the early ones. There is Theta breaking the short-term one. And what's even more exciting about it is it's now moving to the next trend, Breaks that trend, we start to unleash. Things like render, breaking a strong trend, indicating next couple of days strength. And then what it's going to do is go to the next major trends. Remember, this is all to the Bitcoin pairing. I'm showing you what you're seeing that's going to awaken first. Anything that's sitting lower than the trend. For example, AVAX. Has AVAX pumped that hard yet? No. What happens when it breaks this trend though? Going to pump hard. So it gives you an idea. Okay, keep an eye on AVAX when it breaks this. Be in, right? And it gives you a really good sense of where the market's basically at. So let's pump through a couple of the alts. Is Bitcoin moving? We're going to nail this bottom. Tell you we're going to nail this bottom. We're going to get this one. We've been working our asses off. You know, we were the only green tile yesterday. We were the only ones that's like, we got to go bull. And I'm like, guys, are you sure? Because if we go bull and doesn't work like thing, we went bull. Everyone went red. There's a fat green candle. Fat green candle. What's Bitcoin pushing? You see, it's going to go for that liquidation. Guys, I promise you, we're going to blink and it's going to be gone. So again, this is all still temporary. Bitcoin must get above that 60 to 64. Okay, but let's go through a couple of alts quickly. So ETH, again, I think ETH will push to around 3.4, 3.5. There's some breakouts we're going to talk about later on in the week. For now, a bit up. Render, I think it's going to fly. I think you've got a couple of spot entries here still. This is where the moves I see coming. Around the areas of another, if we just look at the percentage, and this is just shorter time frame base, you know, another good 20% move. Until we look at a little bit of a possible, you know, rejection zones or high time frame. THORChain's about to join the party. So I went long a little bit yesterday. I've been fighting those damn entries. Keep an eye on this. THORChain's going to join the party. This will be a nice trend for you today. If we start breaking through here, great trade. This will be a nice push to around $5, 5.5 from THORChain. So there's THORChain in the house. Let's see things like Doge. That's the time to buy some spot. You buy over here. You put your stop loss over here and you aim for these higher range. I'm looking at the, you know, on the short time frame. Do you see this over here? Do you see this little V-shaped recovery? Okay. You see that? What we're looking for now is the V-shaped recovery. That's what we're looking for. The real V-shaped recovery, the higher time frame V-shaped recovery, the strong one. So, oh, someone said, okay, it's working. It's working. Yeah, you got to keep going. If it's going to pump the markets, it's what we do. Things like Injective. So Injective is just sitting at resistance. Okay, had a really strong pump. You see these early breaks here, what I speak about. Now it's sitting here, and if it gets through here, there's a squeeze. So you can see how everything's sitting at the short squeeze level when it comes to the alts. You know, everything pushing. Things like Solana. I think my Solana's cooking now, bro. Oh my jeez. It's the best one against Bitcoin. How do I show them this? So I put in $4,400. I'm on $26,000 today. Printing. Because I ain't scared, bro. You can wipe me out for many weeks, but I will catch the bottom. When I catch the bottom, I make my money back. That's a big thing. So there goes Sol, guys. So from here, again, my main areas for Sol, I'm probably seeing the squeeze around 150. We know Sol lost a little bit of a trend, so 150 is the area that looks to make sense now. Anywhere above 150, we could see the full V recovery, you know, over some time. So Sol's waking up really good. Things like Phantom. Phantom's still in a little bit of spot buys, guys. Spot buys over here. Where does Phantom speed up? Once it gets above this block over here. That's when Phantom really starts getting going. Things like Chainlink. Chainlink, you still got time. You probably got another hour or two, and if it starts breaking, Chainlink becomes available. There goes Chainlink. Boom. Seeing a Chainlink push over there. Things like Dot. About to break the highs. About to squeeze. So, guys, when everyone's bearish, we're sitting here. Here's PEPE. PEPE is breaking trend. Okay, so you can see all of these over here showing this trend. There's COTI. COTI on the verge of a trend break. Let's see NEAR. NEAR will squeeze once it gets above this high here. It will start to squeeze to the upside. Theta's obviously looking really bull. Yeah, Theta's looking incredibly strong. I want to remind you of a couple good investment coins. Kujira, still at good levels, guys. Starting to get a little bit of recovery. When this thing breaks this trend, I'm seeing Kujira get back to crazy levels. So Kujira is still in a really good investment zone. You can see the slow bleed. The moment it cracks this, you're going to see a fat rally to the upside. So keep an eye on there. I was looking at things like Notcoin. That's also not there yet, but keep an eye on the break. So everything will start joining the party. The only thing is what alts are going to perform first. If you go through here and look through your altcoins for the day, the ones that are going to perform that are all breaking to Bitcoin pairing. That's it. After that, the rest will join. The rest will push. The rest will come after that. It's quite weird that our views are lower today when we're bull, though. And then later, if markets are up a lot, then they all come back. Things like Lido. I want to speak about Lido for a sec as well, because Lido looks like the rocket, guys. Look at that. For ETH play, it's breaking the daily. It's a buy. It's a buy for some Lido. That's serious strength to be the daily breakout of trend. A lot of strength that's happening over there. I want to remind you guys as well, Jupiter is breaking trend. Keep an eye on Jupiter. Arbitrum is still, we'll also speak about RWeave. RWeave is breaking for a squeeze. This should be a nice push to around 35.40 again on RWeave. Guys, once we get here, then we get to the major trends. Then we're like, okay, what's happening? Okay, another pullback. Then we push. Nonetheless, this is what we got to get excited for now. You're going to sit and do nothing when there's time to make some money back and time to get our losses back plus more. That's what we've got to do. Viewers got to capitulate. The sad thing about it is they come late. They come late. If I'm watching this, like if you're watching this and you're coming and watching late on these things, like just stop it. Watch at the right time. Be in at the right time. That's who makes money. Very simple. Here's a 𝗏𝗚𝗄𝗏𝗏 breakout looking like it's going to income. So 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗏 starts breaking his highs here. 𝗏𝗏𝗏's going to start joining the party. We're waiting for AVAX. I am waiting patiently for AVAX. It's breaking a short-term trend. It hit my big buy zone. I'm just waiting for a little bit of a higher time frame break. So a couple of days, I think AVAX will start joining the party. Let's see any other. Yes, XRP will also get going eventually. I'm still holding some longs on XRP. XRP is actually looking to break against Bitcoin. So if I show you this over here on the time, there might be a little bit of an XRP rally coming at some point. I know you're here, Shelly. I'm just joking. Everyone that's here, I'm super proud of you guys. Super, keep an eye. Super starting to bleed down here. When it cracks that, is where it's going to really have a strong pop. So keep an eye on the super chart as well. Let's see how the couple of the memes are doing. FLOKI, you can see the memes aren't as powerful as what they were. I don't know how all memes are doing in general. 𝗏𝗏𝗙 has done very well. 𝗏𝗏𝗙 kind of feels like it's got a point to prove in this bull. I think it's going for #1 spot. 𝗏𝗏𝗙 has definitely had not really. It's there. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 gets going when this gets going. There we go. So 𝗏𝗏𝗏's nice bounce from 𝗏𝗏𝗏, but it really gets going once it cracks that. That's when it really starts to push. I see we got Brett as well. Brett's breaking daily trend. There's where is my ARB? Arbitrum is it over here, guys. You have this much time to accumulate Arbitrum until this trend breaks. After that, it's very likely this thing gets back to $2. It gets really pushing. So Arbitrum, when the ETH play comes, it's going to rip. It's going to go absolutely crazy. It's going to pump. So keep an eye on Arbitrum. You've got a few more days to accumulate, but I'll pack my bags, get ready for it, and look for the next explosion, next push. Let's see dominance. Okay, dominance. You see it pulls back whenever Bitcoin wants to have any sort of little sneeze or pullback. Okay, guys. So back to this over here again. Here is the total 3 chart. This is what I am seeing. I'm seeing if there's any red today, it's short-term red, but I'm seeing a squeeze. I'm seeing them go and hunt down the liquidations. I'm seeing fear at the lows. I'm seeing RSIs at the bottom. I'm seeing bullish divergence. I think the bulls are going to come back hard. I really do. I think today will be a good start. And I think if we continue that momentum within today, I think we're going to have a brilliant weekly closing candle, weekly sort of view. And I think that's going to set us up for, a good couple of weeks within. So right now, as it stands, focus on any losses you can recover, focus on any wins you can make. But nonetheless, this is the play over here that I'm looking at. And we come back tomorrow. We come back extremely tomorrow. So a few things over here. A lot of you guys said in the chat that you don't do Emoja. I want to show you guys, Emoja is a very simple way to trade options. Guys, you can literally leverage. You're basically 10xing, okay? But there's a certain amount that you put in for it. So, for example, if you're bullish on ETH now, okay, and I want to, long ETH at this point, I want to long 1 ETH at the moment, it will tell me that I got to only put in $300. And I can trade with the power of 1 ETH. And I say, okay, by the 31st of the end of the month is where I think ETH is going to be up from where it is now. Okay, I put that in, I pay my 300, and whatever it goes in that price, I make the profits on it. Guys, this is the simplest way to do options, which is calculated leverage. So you got calls, which is going up, and you got puts, which is going down. So if you don't know it, there's no simpler way than this. You connect your wallets, and it's a very simple way like this of where you buy and sell and execute. You can even swap tokens within too. So go and open up Emoja. I'll remind you guys again, there is that CoinW event that's still happening. There's 6 days left. So if you're trading up over there, 6 days left. You can win up to $1,000 USDT every week over there on CoinW as well. And remember, Sniper Club and Easy Algo, 2 of the best products that you get out there. And I want to show you guys this quickly. Here we go. This is my hard work over the last couple of days. Look how many videos. These are videos that are not on YouTube. They're not on anywhere. This is what the new formats that we're enjoying. You can see the love and everything that's here. So all my market updates every day. I did 3 videos alone yesterday. I did one now before the show. Sniper Club gives you all of this. Your meme sections, your research sections, your airdrops, your charts, your signals, your chat. Everything is evolved here. Sniper Club. So go below if you want a true community. And remember, you also got the Easy Algo. I showed you guys this yesterday. Easy Algo, very powerful indicator that helps you with buys and sells within the market. And here we go. I'll go here and I'll go just below the video and I'll show you this is where you'll find all the links, guys. All the links. And remember, you've got one more day to join up for Sniper School. One more day over here at the bottom to join up for Sniper School. Guys, have a fantastic day. Love you lots. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love.